Ich hoffe, ich krieg das mit meiner Stimme hin.
Danganronpa.
Mal schauen. Erstmal ganz, ganz wichtig. Wir gucken. Stage 5 müsste neu sein. Keine Ahnung, wie Monomi das gemacht hat, jetzt wo sie tot ist. Aber ja. Genau. Schauen wir mal, was Monomi gemacht hat und so. Aber ja, ganz wichtig, hier erstmal das Zeug machen. Hoffentlich sind hier nicht... Hoffentlich sind hier nicht wieder die komischen Dinger, die... Junge, ich kann dich nicht besiegen, wenn du direkt an der Wand bist. Hoffentlich sind nicht wieder diese komischen Viecher da, die ewig viel Leben haben. Das verpasst. Also heute. Was hast du denn heute verpasst? Bisschen Persona, Social Link, Upgrade Zeug. Ja, Anfang von Drakengard 3. Ja. Ah, fuck, die sind da. Oh, cool. Cool. Ah, fuck. Ah. Nee. Na komm. Hat viel gebracht. Ich meine, Strategie und so weiter habe ich drin für die Dinge, aber die haben halt so ewig viel Leben. Broken, Level 38. Glückwunsch. Ah. Den anderen besiegt. Also jetzt mit dem Hund war's. Achso, nö. Nö. Da hast du nicht wirklich was verpasst. Die Pause hast du verpasst. Hinrichtung war schon. Ja, ich hab dann Samstag bin ich dann nochmal online gekommen, irgendwann später. Und ja, hab die Verhandlung fertig gemacht. Im Endeffekt, wenn man technisch ganz richtig gehen möchte, war sowohl Täter als auch Verräter Chiaki. Täter aber unabsichtlich. Und ja, Nagito hat sozusagen einen gezwungenen Mord geplant. Am besten nochmal nachschauen. Sollte auf YouTube sein. Weil das zu erklären ist ein bisschen, beziehungsweise ich versuch's mal, ich habe ja Zeit jetzt. Und zwar Nagito. Die ganzen Wunden und so weiter hat er sich selbst zugefügt. Beziehungsweise Kernpunkt, Mord, Kernpunkt und so weiter war, dass Nagito Gift in eine Flasche von diesen Feuergranaten, also diese Flaschen, die sie geworfen haben, gefüllt hat. Sodass dann, während das Feuer war und die versucht haben, das Feuer zu löschen, einer von denen das Gift wirft und somit Nagito umbringt. Währenddessen hat Nagito auf sein Glück gehofft und gehofft, dass der Verräter die Flasche mit dem Gift nimmt und wirft, weil er ist ja der Ultimate Lucky Student und dementsprechend, ja, hat er halt gehofft, dass sein Glück das so macht, dass der Verräter die Flasche mit dem Gift wirft, Nagito somit vergiftet und der Verräter dann der Mörder ist, sozusagen. Was auch geklappt hat. Chiaki war diejenige, die die Flasche genommen hat und geworfen hat und dementsprechend zum Tod von Nagito direkt beigetragen hat. Was Nagito aber wollte, war, dass das nicht rauskommt und alle bis auf der Verräter bzw. die Verräterin sterben. Das ist leider nicht so passiert, also nicht so passiert, wie Nagito das gerne gehabt hätte und ja, Verräterin ist gestorben. Also wir haben rausbekommen, wer die Verräterin ist, haben für die Verräterin gestimmt und die wurde hingerichtet. Und ja, das wollte Nagito nicht. Und ja. Aber ja, im Endeffekt belief es sich drauf, dass Nagito einfach nur Glück hatte. Bis gleich ist. Und ja, jetzt machen wir weiter. Mit Kapitel 0, Heading to the School Trip. Und ich hoffe, meine Stimme macht mit. It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. The shaking was quite irregular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, it would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me, it was comforting. Und wieder da. Willkommen zurück. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited. But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by talent. Detecting irregularities among irregularities won't be that difficult. How boring. Do you like ships? On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. You looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Ships. Ah, that's right. That's it. So this is a ship. You just realized it now? Is it really that funny? Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly, I saw his true character. The overfamiliar attitude, the friendly smile. But under that thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odor, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Komaeda. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that... Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Lucky? So that's your talent then. What a boring talent. A boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly... That's because I have luck as well. Huh? Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope's Peak Academy too, right? So you're one of us? Ah, but that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Sorry. I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. Not you. This world. Huh? This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They're profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level. And because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring. While the world is shaped by the will of the majority, it makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Perhaps, does it have anything to do with the reason you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world, not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right? Listen well, using people is a talent too. It is now my turn to use that person, just as they used me in the past. That person? By talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, they already... I have it with me. The contribution that person left to me. Even now, it rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Then, will I be able to see her again? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much. Hate? Then explain your hand. This? The end of the bandage is a woman's hand, right? Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I've successfully become one with ultimate despair, my sworn enemy. I see. So you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. I just see her as my enemy, you know? Because she's my sworn enemy, because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power, and for that I... Wait, huh? Do I hate her? That's strange. Huh? Look out the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. Huh? I already know because I am loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it is of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There's no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you're boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? Das war Kapitel 0. Ha. Wo ist es? Taschentücher. Taschentücher. Habe ich keine Taschentücher mehr hier? Ja. Scheiß Schnupfen. It's a door. There's a door. Huh? A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? A violin. Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trail ground. But then, why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before, when we were all gathered in that classroom just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where's this place? Is it somewhere on Chippewa Island? Ding dong ding bong. What?
Ahem, ahem. Testing, testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then. Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope's Peak Academy." But why would this place be Hope's Peak Academy? And not just that. What is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? Leave, yes. Merkwürdig. Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least, it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope's Peak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope's Peak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right, that's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, alright? Then I'll go and definitely clear things up. Sieht bekannt aus. The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I braced myself and cautiously opened the door. Yeah. Kapitel 6. This is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. It was a normal gymnasium.
Damn right.
Yo, Hajime.
Yo.
You heard the announcement and came here too? You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
Hey, what do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something? That cannot be possible.
Well, yeah.
You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello! How does it feel to return to long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy?
Why, you...
You.
Hey, where are we? Why'd you lock us up this time?
That's...
What a shock! I just told you guys, this is Hope's Peak Academy!
Of course not!
There's no way in hell that's true.
No.
Oh, but it is! I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it?
What?
Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell to ruin.
Lies.
You were serious about that? Silly fool! I don't believe it. But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserve to be ruined for. What do you mean?
I don't like this.
Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope's Peak Academy, and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic.
Fine.
Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone?
Don't fuck with me!
Enough with this bullshit, just spit it out already.
You...
Why'd you take us, you bastard? Though I'm not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin and...
In other words...
It means...
I made this Hope's Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin.
You.
What do you mean between?
Hey!
What do you mean made?
What's this?
Oh my, are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good, very good. It's fine to hurry along the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment.
Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you?
No way!
It's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that.
Shing!
It's just a simple graduation exam.
Huh?
Then what is the graduation exam?
Hey,
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate.
Are you sure about this?
But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world.
So...
That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Chipperwalk Island or stay here.
Huh?
Why?
We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here.
That's right.
This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let's choose right now.
No!
You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet.
Main cast?
Hey,
You guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives.
damn it!
Blech. So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world.
What do you mean?
I've dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope's Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip.
And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey!
Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right?
What are you saying?
How do we make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
It cannot be.
There's no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Chipperwalk Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it, why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possesses amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? You're just some nobody from the reserve corps who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgets he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard!
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing.
I'm
I don't really get it, but isn't that all?
gonna do it!
As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means?
Hey!
Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation?
Jeez.
Even though Chiaki and Monoumi are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit, which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of.
You serious?
So, they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma?
However...
The Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monomi never once denied that.
Damn it.
Even if there are allies, they might not just be allies. Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation. But if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So what should we do?
Damn it.
Well, it's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better than people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
Alright!
Alright, I'm gonna do it.
Prepare yourself.
Like...
Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hope's Peak Academy, about ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. Yeah. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine.
Hey!
Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means.
Of course!
Hell yes! He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy. None of that matters. What's important is... I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But... Monokuma should already know that that's what we are thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
Hey, hey!
So, what are you gonna do? Can we start already? But what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weirdest building?
Even so.
I do think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, I'll just go on ahead for now.
Whoa!
Hey, you're already going?
Jeez.
Why is that idiot thinking running ahead without being cautious?
Man.
She obviously isn't thinking about anything.
However...
It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives.
Alright!
So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at a green light, we'd never reach our goal.
Jeez. You're pathetic.
We kinda really took off on our own. It might be fast if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then, let's get this over with and go home.
Later.
I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gymnasium.
Excuse me?
I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Madam, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow, then left the gymnasium.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia,
Miss Sonia!
please don't leave me. I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance towards that hope. Even though I don't understand and that a lot of horrifying things kept happening for the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far. I'm definitely going to go home. Investigate. Oh, okay. Yo.
I knew you could do it.
Noch mehr versteckte Monokumas. Was? Ich hab gedacht, wir wären fertig. Oh. Okay, muss ich mal kurz gucken. Irgendwie funktionieren die Wikia-Seiten nicht mehr auf meinem Handy. Alles, was in Kategorien eingepackt ist, kann ich nicht öffnen oder so. We've updated our privacy policy. Cool IGN. Cooler Guide. Moment, dann schaue ich schnell auf den PC. Oh, einen habe ich schon verpasst. Einer war im allerersten Zimmer. Okay, muss ich noch mal hin. Okay, also Sporthalle, den habe ich. Biolab, Teachers Lounge, Klasse 2b. Okay. Naja, solange ich nochmal zurückgehen kann, sollte das ja kein Problem sein. Nein, 5. Stock, was? Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. Kann ich... Map? Fuck. Okay, ich hoffe, ich komme nochmal zurück. Wär kacke, wenn nicht. This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? Spiel, lass mich lesen. As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? Jo. Biolab. Da kann ich nicht rein, cool. Okay, wenn ich den einen Monokuma nicht mehr einsammeln kann, ist auch nicht so schlimm. Kriege ich wahrscheinlich, verpasse ich wahrscheinlich ein Steam Achievement und die Belohnung in-game ist jetzt auch nicht so der Brüller. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this?
Let's start with history first, class.
Hey,
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person.
So, just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The history begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it is also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes the general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly cancelled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. Manga, blah. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic, there's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know what the details, but no. It'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, learn something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those reserve course students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird.
Oh, you're here again?
Shing!
The thing that's weird is you, of course.
Huh?
Hey!
Why did you forget that you're part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So, I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too.
What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students.
I got it!
Aww, you willingly sealed those memories yourself.
Huh?
You wanted to be...
Ich kann Monokuma-Stimme heute nicht machen. Hals ist zu kacke. You wanted to be confined in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I'd know anything about that, though. You're saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, we always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a Reserve Corps student. What the heck? Huh. Okay. Hier noch irgendwas. Dumme Erkältung.
What's going on?
As always, it's kinda creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. Nah, it's like there's an invisible wall or something. Invisible wall? Oh, warum muss das Drehen so langsam sein? Kann ich jetzt in mein Biolab rein? Nope. Noch ein Buch. This is another manga. Manga, irgendwas sowas. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Huh. Wasn't The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is: as the name suggests, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents, wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind. The Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrific incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of reserve course students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited Danganronpa 0. Ooh. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
What irony!
Ich versuch's nochmal.
For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy shoes with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
That he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents, so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the reserved course students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Wenn wir mit der eigentlichen Story von Danganronpa 2 fertig sind, werde ich nochmal die ganze Geschichte, dass wir hier, was wir hier gelernt haben, nochmal von Anfang bis Ende erzählen. Weil kann sein, dass es ein bisschen, dass die Bruchstücke hier jetzt ein bisschen unorganisiert sind und was weiß ich. Und weil die Story an sich recht interessant und recht cool ist, werde ich es nochmal extra, wenn wir mit der Story hier fertig sind, von Anfang bis Ende Schritt für Schritt erklären, was passiert ist und so weiter. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Ja, ist auch, ist auch ein bisschen doof, weil der Anime, der Danganronpa 2.5 Anime, ist, der erzählt ein bisschen was anderes. Oh! Yeah! He wants to give you something. Skill? Ein Skill? Oh, cool. Goodbye. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already.
I've been found.
Aw. There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the reserve course students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. Wanton?
What?
Ist das ein neues Wort, das ich noch nicht kenne? Tatsächlich. Schamlos, mutwillig, liederlich, lüstern, übermutig, geil, lasziv, kriminell, sträflich, üppig, frevelhaft und lose. Okay. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really, really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them?
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who does like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough! What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories.
The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your grave. This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it. There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps, no, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, whether the world is this ultimate despair group, if they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Phew, that was close, I nearly froze to death. Du hättest auch einfach den Manga nehmen können und rausgehen können, Hajime. Hättest du nicht drin lesen müssen. So, where should I go next? Garten. Ist der Garten offen? Ne. Anderes Klassenzimmer. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him.
Jeez.
When I went inside this room, the bastard bear was suddenly here. He kept glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I won't want to do that either.
Hiya!
Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasantly well.
Pung, pung.
I pleasingly well. You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
No, no.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student who doesn't like manga. It's like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
I'm getting really fed up with the babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for.
What?
Surprise, it's about ultimate despair.
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title of a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil and feared person alive.
A high school girl?
yes indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Junko Enoshima.
Hey,
As the firmer ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. And created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Don't fuck with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization, huh? There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power.
Phew.
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Huh?
Then what was the purpose?
Huh?
What?
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. Blah, blah.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god, like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair to so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshimas name.
Ich bin mir jetzt gerade mal sicher, in welchem Spiel das vorkommt. Was? Ich weiß nicht mehr, ob das in dem Spiel oder in dem nächsten Spiel genauer gesagt wird, was mit Junko passiert ist, nachdem sie eben gestorben ist. Ein bisschen haben wir ja vorhin schon gesehen, in Kapitel 0. For example. Oh! Okay, könnte jetzt sogar kommen.
Phew.
Na, ich kann Monokuma-Stimme nicht mehr machen. They killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible.
What?
Do you know about the final days of the reserve corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days.
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
Oh, 2,357 students? Oops. It wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it!
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko Enoshima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Enoshima is already dead. Huh? Ultimate despair. Sheriff Department. Okay. Junko Enoshima is already dead. What does that mean? Why does Fuyuki know about that? Eveko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima is really dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morin's Killing School Life. In that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in. They were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead.
like...
Turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing.
So...
The students of Hope Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival. They were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But a messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in a trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter.
Bastard!
Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the ultimate despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings were involved in the killings we are involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit!
If the students from Hope Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? Cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life?
Man, Archie, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's going to happen if you do that?
Ooh, how
One
exciting!
step at a time. You're getting closer to clearing my character route.
But you're not making sense again.
Well now.
Now then, I'll give you guys all my all.
I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I raised them flags like crazy.
Yeah.
What?
What a surprise. Do you want to hear about the ultimate despairs again? I don't really need you to do it.
Hey,
Even though the term ultimate despairs will... He just started on his own. It's fine already, you don't have to keep explaining.
What?
Ah, it's fine already. I'm just getting into the good part. Good part or not, I've already heard this from you before. Okay, ich hab gedacht, der will mir noch ein bisschen mehr erzählen. Ah, it changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden, what's going on to make... It's so sudden, what's going on to make something like this happen? Now, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Okay. Kana's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened?
Based on my gut feeling.
Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who?
So...
I don't know, it's just my gut after all.
It's just my gut.
But still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Okay. Musikraum. Ich spiele das Spiel schon wieder fast 1,5 Stunden. Was? Achso, ja, am Anfang hat man ja Monomi-Zeug. Das hat ein bisschen gedauert. This looks like the music room. Ja, ich würde sagen, die Untersuchung und so weiter machen wir noch fertig. Ja, ist ja gerade mal 12. Untersuchung machen wir fertig und machen wir morgen dann komplett Ende und so weiter. Ja. Könnte dann sein, dass der Stream morgen ein bisschen länger geht. Aber ja. Dann haben wir morgen großes Finale. I feel like I can see something strange. Ach was. It looks like it's some sort of monument. Why would there be a monument in a music room? Not just that, the mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Well, Kuma, he completely made it up. Sonst noch was hier? Sieht nicht so aus. Should look around here a bit more. What? Ach, da ist noch. Ich habe gedacht, das wäre einfach nur Grafikglitch vom Zeug oder so, keine Ahnung. What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? Floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko Enoshima rallying them. In a worst case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we are still investigating the details of their origins and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the New World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy? 15 students? Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore, maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. Da hier ist halt jetzt Zeug. Wer den Anime kennt, den 2.5er Anime, der wird ein bisschen verwirrt sein wegen der Anzahl. Weil soweit ich weiß, existiert in dem Universum von dem Spiel Chiaki nur als Komplizin von der Future Foundation und war keine Mitschülerin von denen. Im Anime ist es so, dass Chiaki Mitschülerin war. Ja, die haben im Anime selbst ein bisschen was geändert. Zum Beispiel, Moment, vorhin, was war vorhin noch? Weiß gar nicht mehr. Aber irgendwas vorhin kam mir auch ein bisschen komisch vor. Kann sein, dass das sich da auch irgendwie ein bisschen unterschieden hat vom Anime. I guess it's all the crews in this room. It's finally confirmed the Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No, as long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko Enojima are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on this island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow, there's still so many mysteries. Okay, Musikzimmer fertig. Teacher's Lounge, hier ist noch ein Monokuma. This feels different from a classroom.
Maybe...
It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has that stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it doesn't look like that.
Well...
Well, partly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already. Echt so. Da ist er.
Huh? Are you serious?
There's something written on the blackboard. Das habe ich nicht angeguckt. What's written here? List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that are names I've seen before. Hachime Hinata, Chiaki Namami, Kazuichi, Akane, Sonia, Peko, Naito, Gundam, Ultimate Imposter, Byakuya, Teru, Nekomaru, Fuyiko, Mahiru, Mika, Ibuki. Hyoko Sayonji? What? There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hyoko Sayonji is written there. Why is this newspaper? What? Why is this? It says Miss Hyoko Sayonji. This can't mean the same Hyoko, right? I mean, the Hyoko we knew. It was much smaller and looked more childlike. It was pretty much a defining feature. But the photo in this newspaper, in a way, I can see the resemblance to Hyoko, but her height and figure, it's too different from the Hyoko we knew. What does this mean?
Huh?
Man, this lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hyoko's older sister or something? No, it says Hyoko Sayonji here. Then, Hyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name. An older sister with the same first and last name.
I mean...
That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at it for yourself. That's not Hyoko. But did you ever hear her mention an older sister?
Man.
It's not like I was that close to her or anything.
Wrong.
She doesn't have an older sister. Hyoko is the Sayonji family's only daughter.
If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? No, there's still too much of a resemblance.
What are you saying?
That's Hyoko.
Huh?
Of course not!
What are you saying? Yoko doesn't have a curvy body like that. I mean, she was famous for a childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt.
What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
today I'm feeling white.
Okay. Well, regardless, all the clues I've provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What's going on?
What the heck is this the truth? This is the truth. If this is the truth, then the Yoko in the newspaper. Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Yoko when she's already dead? Why? Why does this even exist?
Hey, hey!
Could it be related to that list of subjects over there? Huh?
This is
If
bad.
it says subjects, maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Yoko's body? No, what I'm saying, just saying it out loud makes it sound messed up. What experiment? If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we are also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. What kind of experiment was
What's
it?
going on?
Ah, what's going on? It better not have anything to do with time travel. Ja, genau. Es ist something that looks... Ja, das war sie, wo ich als allererstes drauf geklickt habe. An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says Hope Peak Academy founder, Isuru Kamakura. What? The founder of the Hope Peak Academy and this name, Isuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery. Academy's founder. Monsieur Pixelblumen. Also, ja. There are letters floating in the air. Like in the music room. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same one from earlier. I guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko Enoshima, the fact remains that they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy has not ended. Perhaps there's still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does it mean this is in order to kill them? It doesn't sound peaceful at all, but I guess that's understandable. If the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is as terrible as it sounds, it's pretty much all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime, you shall now go on to the next stage. Next stage. What? Void floor. Damn it, not again. The hallway is different from the last time. I guess when that flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, I moved to a different hallway than the last. But how can he do that? No, now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it is just going to waste my energy. What? What? Das Ding ist geschlüpft. Das ist schön. Wo kann ich hin? Jo, cooles Fenster. Yo, cooles Fenster. There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. It's hard to think a room like this actually exists inside a school. Es kommt dem nicht komisch vor, dass der Billardtisch schwebt und die Billardkugeln. It's a file with Hope's Peak Academy seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously, Monokuma is responsible. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms, and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word True Hope left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Hope's Peak Academy was behind something like that. I don't really get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? This hologram again. What's this one say? It looks like another email passage regarding the report we gave you the other day. We have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we are unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others. So we have decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. Okay. It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on this island? Well, I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up.
What's this?
My, Jimmy, if you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse. It's your fault. Why is this hologram thing anyway?
Hey,
It's exactly what it looks like. They are the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them. You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
No!
Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all. There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything to what's happening right now. Okay. Second floor. Well, looks like I'm in a different hallway again. I'm pretty much used to it by now, but even so. What is the space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, this is just totally disconnected from reality. Yeah, Kopfüber.
It smells.
It's close, it's very close. Someone is coming. Kinda switching a nose and examining her surroundings.
Based on my gut feeling.
They're definitely real close. At least that's what my gut is telling me. Then answer this with your gut. Is it an enemy or an ally? Let's see, my gut feeling is...
Well, they're both.
Yo!
He's right, they're both. Both? What do you mean?
You.
I don't know any details, it's just my gut after all. But that's true, I guess. Okay. Gute Musik. Pool. This must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here too. I should hurry up and find it. Ist dann nur das Hologramm? Okay. Hologram again. It must be another one of the Future Foundation's emails. I should read it. There's no doubt that it's another clue. To Future Foundation 14th Division, Makoto Naegi. Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a serious act of treason. Do you understand? Why you're protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what is important to bring the light of hope to the world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with our ideals, right? The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of a future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape. This email is addressed to Makoto Naegi. But he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Ooh. Böser Makoto. What? Didn't I walk into a classroom? I don't really get it, but this looks like the laundry room. There's no use worrying about it, but I was in a school and now I'm suddenly in a laundry room.
No.
No. This looks like a tablet computer. It looks like the power is on too. Is this the next clue? I picked up the tablet and immediately started examining it. Neo World program. This word, Neo World. I seem to recall hearing it and seeing it a few times already. The Neo World program is another name. Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. The Neo World program is built with the most recent psychotherapy technology and administrative software. To develop the Neo World program, individuals such as the ultimate programmer, the ultimate neurologist, and the ultimate therapist were among the many talented people whose research results were utilized. By mounting a device to the cranium, the Neo World program allows its subjects to experience a synthetic virtual world. Additionally, the Neo World program has another feature. It can replace memories formed in the real world with information contained in the synthetic virtual world. Therefore, it is possible to undo trauma sustained in the real world through the use of the virtual world. However, this device is for psychotherapeutic purposes only. Any other use is extremely forbidden. Though it is highly effective in treating brainwashing, abusing the device risks total personality destruction. Thus, extreme care must be exercised when operating this program. Slowly, everything around me turned black. Synthetic virtual world? Program? A feeling of emptiness, like everything is being tainted. A feeling of weakness, like the world is collapsing beneath my feet. Everything is starting to feel meaningless. The desperate attempts, the sad goodbyes, the conflicts, the trust I felt until now. It's all disappearing until all I feel is despair. I screamed loudly, as if I was confirming the sound of my own voice. There's no way I can accept this. I am starting to accept that there's no way something as crazy as this actually exists.
Nice!
You gotta raise the flags more in order to clear my character route? Now then, despair is waiting for you.
Possible. This is impossible. It's all made up. Everything is all made up. Made up. Including me too.
Hiya!
Hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy the killing school threat? By the way, do you guys remember the speech I made at the beginning? From this point on, I promise you a world that truly deserves to be called a game. Pooh-hoo-hoo. You guys are the only ones watching this who can save them. The end of the world is nigh. What you gonna do? What's gonna happen? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it heart-throbbing? Look forward to it. Pooh-hoo-hoo. What?
As always. When we first arrived here, I walked down this hallway from the classroom to get to the gym. I don't really see a resemblance, but... Kann ich noch mal ins Klassenzimmer rein? Wenn ich's sehen könnt. Gym? Nee, geh weg. Boah, komm.
Well?
I'm familiar with the placebo effect and the nocebo effect. Huh? The placebo effect is when your health improves after taking a fake medicine that you believe is real. And the nocebo effect is the exact opposite. Which means as long as the human brain controls all other bodily functions, if the brain believes something is real, it will become real. Why would you bring that up all of a sudden? Huh?
Oh my.
Huh? I'm not sure. I do not fully understand. What the heck? Okay, Sonja. Komm mal. Was machst du hier? Well, when you discover the truth was a lie,
all hope will disappear. Pooh-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Oh. Ah, Monokuma ist nicht mehr da. Fuck. Schade. Schwarzer Monolith. Fuck. Is this floating? That's impossible. There's no way something this big would be floating like this. But what in the world is that? Jimmy hat anscheinend noch nie 2001 Space Odyssey gesehen. And the moment I looked at that object. Wow. Yeah, best girl. Welcome. Welcome to the New World program. A person? A floating person is talking to me? Who is it? No, is this even a person in the first place? I'm not quite a person. I'm simply an artificial intelligence program. It would make me happy if you called me Alter Ego. That is the name my master gave me when he created me. It can talk! But What are you? Alter Ego, Artificial Intelligence Program. I am the master program behind the New World program. I'm responsible for creating and overseeing this world. However, only the observer has the authority to directly influence you guys. I can't actually exert much influence. In fact, my existence is only that you don't normally meet. I'm sort of like an apartment manager or something. I may oversee the entire apartment building, but I lack the power to manage individual rooms. But the virus has infected everything I'm supposed to be managing. And because of that, this world I'm managing is acting very peculiar. Hold on. My brain can't follow what you're saying. Let me gather my thoughts first. Damn it, it's that feeling from earlier again. It's floating, like my feet are hovering above the floor. It's like I can't feel my feet or the ground, like I can't even believe my own existence. I should know, right? Where is this place? Tell me, what is the New World program? The New World program has omitted the data collection procedure for shaping the entire world. As such, only the data we collected during the experimental stage is being utilized. Specifically, that means the data detailing Jabberwock Island, where this research facility is located. That is why the previous Jabberwock Island cityscape was restored. Ergo, if I'm to answer your question, where is this place? The answer would be mostly Jabberwock Island. Certain portions of it are different depending on the circumstances, for example, the school you're in. It appears the space is entirely under the virus's influence. That's probably why I'm appearing before you too. However, even without the virus, these circumstances are a bit unnatural. It seems the launch was rushed, and because of that, there wasn't enough time to collect any data. I'm sorry, I don't really know the circumstances of the outside world. After all, I'm simply the overseer of the New World program. Most of its words, I understood what they meant, but I couldn't understand what was being said. There was no way for me to acknowledge it as the truth. It would make much more sense if this was a fictional world. Wait, as saying this world is a fictional world? I feel like I can't believe what's going on here. This missing sense of reality. All the mysteries, all the truths, they're all just fiction. Is that... Even so, I need to know. I need to know what this world is. Can you tell me? Hey, can you tell me? What was the New World program used for in the first place? The New World program serves only one purpose. It is used to make the real world a splendid one. I guess you can say it's a program for creating hope. Program for creating hope. But the fact that we're here, and the fact that we don't have our memories, that's all the program's fault, right? Deleting memory is the first step toward replacing memory. Replacing memory data is one of the features of the New World program. With the installed memory control unit, it is possible to remove any time period you set it to. And from there, you upload the memories obtained in the virtual world. Removing memories of any time period you set it to. So Monokuma was right, we did lose our school memories. But why? Why us? Why were our school memories taken away? There's a reason for that, right? That is a mystery to me too. Putting the program on the survivors of Hope's Peak Academy while it's still in the experimental stage. I'm sure there was a very good reason. But unfortunately, I don't know what's happening in the outside world. I'm sorry. Saying we're lab rats. That's the only thing I can think of. It sounds like we're just lab rats. The Future Foundation did that to us. But they're trying to save the world, right? Or is the Future Foundation not our ally? I'm sorry, I can't provide that much help. If only I was more reliable. I wouldn't have lost my authority to a virus like this. All these new words make my head feel like it's about to burst. Can you tell me more about the Observer and that virus? Well, for this session, the New World program was programmed to house 15 people along with 2 monitors. 2 monitors. Yeah, they were disguised as a teacher and one of the students. They were intended to guide the participants in this way. By the way, the Observer in the teacher role has been given the authority to influence you all, but the Observer in the student role was not. They weren't given any special authority at all, so they seemed the same as everyone else. What kind of authority does the teacher role have? As an example, the teacher creates the rules of this world and manages them. If the teacher is properly managing the rules they've created, there's no risk of abuse. But because of the virus infecting everything, that has changed. It changed this world where violence shouldn't have existed in the first place. The New World program would have promised eternal peace. But just like the outside world, it's become a world filled with violence and death. What is the virus? I don't really know the details behind its true identity, but that function is beyond my capabilities. No matter how much I try to stop it, it behaves as if it already knows what I'm attempting to do. In the end, it stole a portion of my abilities which contain my authority to build the world. It was like it was a grandmaster chess player. I desperately tried to fight back, so it wouldn't have complete control. But even so, a portion of the world has been modified, and it's at its convenience. She is probably talking about Monokuma Rock and the Funhouse. Based on what she's saying, it sounds like she's on the receiving end of a one-sided attack. But Alter Ego should be an impressive artificial intelligence that the Future Foundation created. I can tell that just by communicating with her. Yeah, best girl. Which means this supposed virus is so smart that it surpasses this Alter Ego. If so, does that virus possess an artificial intelligence just like her? Damn it, what the heck? An artificial intelligence waging an attack against another one. That's so freaking irritating. But how did that virus infect the New World program? The New World program exists in isolation. It's impossible it was infected through a network. I'm fairly certain someone physically uploaded it. Physically? Perhaps someone secretly brought an external memory drive containing the virus into the facility and directly uploaded it into the main computer where the New World program is installed. Based on my calculations, that's most likely what happened. It was brought to the Future Foundation's facility, but the only person who could enter the facility is someone who was a member of the Future Foundation. Damn it, what am I thinking? Why am I assuming that what I just heard is the truth? Why am I assuming that everything is a lie? But it's true that the virus is powerful and that I'm completely overwhelmed by it. But I'm still able to defend the essential areas. So it has a limit too. Limit? If it took over an observer, then it has to follow the rules of an observer. Such as, in order to end the program to release everyone, I need to follow the correct procedure and...
Hey!
Okay.
Come on now!
Even if you're just a god in the machine, that's enough hints from you. If you're gonna say something more, suppose that you exist between life and death. The death of yourself is inevitable. If so, it can be parallel to the deflection based on the definition of existence that constitutes the relationship. From there, the paradigm changes results by being cut off rapidly and causes a situation where your own existence is unobservable and accelerates and crosses with the joint ownership of the world, and the situation from the context invites your death. Yeah! Death. Hey. Death. But what the heck? What just happened? Yeah, right there, aren't you? Someone is right there, right? Huh? Who are you? Das ist schön. Zwei Protagonisten. Protagonist aus dem ersten Spiel und aus dem zweiten Spiel, die ich beide mit der gleichen Stimme spreche, unterhalten sich. Who are you? Are you different from the earlier one? Maybe he can't hear my voice from the side. I'm currently talking to the world through alter ego. Ever since you guys vanished into that space, the video's feedback has been pretty distorted. But even so, we were forced to watch you this entire time. Huh? The things you guys were forced to do, we were forced to watch it. Forced to watch us? I really wanted to save you right away, but because of the virus's interference, I couldn't. Our orders are no longer being accepted, including shutdown requests. The new world program is beyond our control now. In that world, that person created an independent country that doesn't accept outside interference. But Alter Ego created an opportunity for me to speak to you directly. If this means that's working, then it means the person I need to talk to is right there, I hope. It looks like this guy can't even hear me or see me. Just, who is this guy anyway? Is he our ally? Since there's no time, I'm going to say what I need to say and believe you're there listening to me. But first, I should apologize to everyone. I know apologizing won't help, but we didn't imagine something like this would happen. We never expected such an atrocious virus was lurking inside the new world program. But that's entirely our fault. It's our responsibility for not realizing it until it was too late. But it's not just the virus either. I can't say for sure that the program didn't have any problems in the first place. To tell you the truth, I was unsure about whether or not to run the program on you guys. But this was the only way to save you all. I wanted to save you guys. Save us? What did you want to save us from? Why would this save us? You've already seen the password to enter the graduation exam ground, right? You know, 11037. 11037, that's the number we found at Nezumi Castle. The door to the ancient ruin was supposed to open after you all finished gathering the hope fragments. From there you guys were supposed to challenge the graduation exam. However, I prepared that password just in case something went wrong. Like I said earlier, I had my doubts that this program was perfect. Even if the chance was slim, I thought the observer might end up going rogue. That's the reason I left that Leon password in a place where the teacher role would not be able to go. I never thought Nagito, who saw it first, would erase that password. Anyway, I'm also the person who set the password to that number. That number contains a secret. Someone close to me left that number to save me when I was in a dilemma. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm entrusting that will to you all. I've entrusted it to your future. But that person is trying to abuse the graduation exam. I'm sure they are going to crush you with despair using the graduation exam that's waiting for you. But I want you guys to endure it without giving up on hope. I want you guys to withstand it until I get there. Because I have a secret to defeat them. Does it mean he has a secret plan to defeat Monokuma? In a worst case scenario where an observer who has the role of teacher goes rogue, I've prepared a hidden command to use at the graduation exam site. It's the forced shutdown sequence. Forced shutdown sequence? Even a teacher's authority can't stop that command. It's a way to end this that you guys can choose on your own, independently of the observer. Which means even if they stole the teacher's authority, they shouldn't be able to stop it. If you use that, you guys will win. However, in order to start the forced shutdown sequence, you need more than half the number of people. And in order to do that, I need to somehow get that number. Kimo, Yashi Baba, Death. Alles klar, Makoto, machst du schon, ne? Death.
Say what?
Oh, was that just now? Hey, Hajime, what was that weirdness just now? Nothing really. I see.
Anyway.
Oh well, anyway, that's all the hints you're gonna get. If that's no good, artificial intelligence tells you any more useless stuff, I'm gonna butt in again. Did Monokuma not notice what just happened? It's been a while since I've spoken at length, but it was important to talk to you. It was worth waiting a long time here. About that guy just now. There shouldn't be anything else for you to ask me. I see. It'd be bad if Monokuma overheard us. That means Monokuma doesn't know about the conversation I had with that guy just now. You guys have a weapon. A very powerful weapon. It all depends on how you guys use that weapon. The only thing I can do is prevent the virus's invasion with all my might, so you guys can use that weapon. The rest is up to you all. Do your best. Do our best, huh? But what do we have to do our best at? The mystery is getting solved. I'm finally starting to see the truth. But what are we supposed to do when that truth is really a lie? We know we're working towards a conclusion that nobody wants to hear, but still, do we really need to work hard and do our best? Is there really a reason to do our best? If everything was a lie, then isn't everything just meaningless? It's the same for the killings too. Even though we had to experience something as painful as that, something as tragic as that, wouldn't all that be meaningless too? When the world is flipped over and becomes so irrational, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Okay.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
It's time for the long-awaited graduation exam. Please enter the red door located on the first floor of Hope's Peak Academy.
See you soon.
Red door, huh? It's just a waste of time thinking about what this all means right now. For now I need to finish this. I need to just focus on that. He means this red door, right? Just have to go in here. If I do that, will this be finished? Huh? This place.
Yo.
Looks like everyone's here.
Damn right.
Seems that this is going to be the final place.
However,
This place is... Is this a trial field? But why is it a trial field? Sure looks like a trial ground, but the vibe is way different than the one from before. We've been here before, right? Yeah, this should be the place that the door at the ancient ruins lead to.
Hey,
It seems pretty strange that we've been in that other building up till now.
damn it.
It's like we're dreaming or something. If this is a dream, then this too is very...
Welcome.
so you finally arrived. Congratulations, you guys are the first ones to ever beat this game. After stopping by Hope's Peak Academy, you finally come back to this place. To the graduation exam site within the ancient ruin of Chapperwalk Island.
you.
You can give it a fancy name like graduation exam site, but it's no different than the trial ground from before.
Stupid fool!
From before!
Phew.
This trial field actually inspired the one from before. So in a way, this place is the original.
Hey, hey.
Who cares? This graduation exam means we can finally go home, right?
Of course.
If that's what you guys decide.
Huh?
And if we have to decide, what do you have to do?
Now then.
Please take a look at the LCD touch panel built into your seats. Compared to the other trials, the rules are much simpler this time.
Yes, indeed.
There are two options, graduate and repeat, right? You just have to choose one of them and press it. All of you will cast your vote, and whichever one has the majority will be considered your final decision. If you don't press either of them, it will be treated as an absence and will not be counted.
In other words,
Which means everyone who has died up till now will have their votes treated as absences.
then...
Then the result is based on our majority vote.
If graduate is chosen by majority vote, from there, an event that's kind of like a graduation exam called the graduation program will begin. Even if you do this stupid majority vote, the result is already pretty damn obvious. Let's move this along. We can't press it now, right?
No!
You can't do that yet. I mean, your resolve hasn't firmed yet, right? Your will to be swept away by society's harsh current.
Shut up! Shut up!
Who cares? I'm gonna press it.
What's this?
My, which of your orifices are you using to spew bile? To participate in the graduation program, you need my final say as your teacher, you know. What? Does that mean it won't end with just a majority vote?
That's right!
After the vote, I'm going to judge every single one of you to see if it's okay for you to graduate or not.
Damn it!
So if we vote, you're saying we won't graduate unless you acknowledge it?
Well...
I'm terribly sorry for being rude earlier.
No way!
But you don't have to worry, there's no way I won't acknowledge your graduations. This is merely a formality. I'm just doing it because it's how it has to be. He's doing it because it's how it has to be. It doesn't mean he can exert his will over everything. He too has a limit. Is this what Alter Ego was talking about?
Anyway...
Even if you don't want to do it, you guys still need to do it to solve the mystery. Afterward, you cast your majority votes, and from there we move on to the graduation program. But why do we even have to go through something so dumb? Well, that is... You said you were waiting for the main cast, right? Which means you're just starting for time then. Who's the main cast? Oh, no need to worry about it. It has nothing to do with you guys.
That is...
There's no way it has nothing to do with us. We are the only ones who are involved, you know.
so annoying.
It doesn't matter if you're involved or not. You're just a bunch of chumps in the big picture. That's why it has nothing to do with you. Just perform your roles without complaining.
You pissed me off.
What's with the chump comment?
I can't ignore that.
Not that it's important or anything, but make sure you turn off the toy.
I won't forgive you.
I dare you treat him like a toy.
What's this?
I did treat it like a toy. You got a problem with that? I created everything. You're actually picking a fight with me? I'm basically a god. Just how promising can you guys be? I guess this is just the nature of life. Fine then, before you die, sear my power into your memories.
Ja, ich würde sehr gerne speichern. Okay. Ja, dann machen wir morgen Finale. Langes Finale. Und ja, ich weiß nicht, ob ich im gleichen Stream die Story, die Timeline sozusagen nochmal erzähle. Oder ob ich das im drauf folgenden Stream mache. Mal schauen. Je nachdem, wie lange es morgen geht. Oder halt im nächsten Stream.